remember hating on de Blasio, and I didn't understand why. We just hated him because he was lame. I don't hate Eric Adams that much. I know he's terrible for policies, but he's mad fucking cool, low key.
Nah, he is mad cool.
Low key.
Nah, he's mad cool. He sold me an eighth.
You know how I knew Eric Adams shouldn't have been mayor? We went to a club one time, bro. We met the owner of the club, and he was like, yo, me and Eric Adams like this. He did his 50th birthday party in the Bronx. 2 weeks later, that club gets shut down. You fought it?
Nah. Yeah. Yo, get tested. He was in an interview with Charlemagne.
Okay.
And he was like, nah, cause I lived that life. I remember having to go outside and buy my mama a Nick and making 5 blunts for her.
No, cause he's a fucking magician. That's what he is.
He's a fucking liar.
No, he should have never been married. He's a fucking magician. 5 blunts. You okay? You hit yourself up. All right. Oh
my God.
Okay.
There's been a disturbance in the timeline.
We're back, baby. We're back in our natural habitat.
It's good to be back.
It is. It does feel good.
It feels good. This room, a lot of memories in this room. A lot of memories for you too, I bet. Yeah. A lot of memories in this room.
Welcome back to another installment of Survival of the Littest. I'm Wesley Cruz. This is
Chris Rosa.
You fought it?
Nah. Yeah. Yo, get tested.
Welcome back to Survival of the Littest. This is episode 23. Don't forget to like and subscribe right down below. You already know.
It's the MJ episode, so we gotta go out like a real right goat.
Right.
And we gotta talk about the goat of New York.
Then I'm gonna retire and then come back.
Right. But unfortunately for the guy we're talking about, he's gonna have to retire and might go to prison.
He's never coming back. I'm talking about Ben Baller, Mr. Eric Adams.
We talking about Mac Baller.
That's what I meant to say.
We talking about Big Meech.
Honorary Dominican Mayor Eric Adams seen indictment too many times.
Like go into the office, sir.
Word, yo, like his headquarters is in Mama Sushi.
Bro, that man became mayor just so that he can have like VIP seats
to everything.
Anything he wants to.
Honestly, he's living a New Yorker's dream.
Yeah.
He is. He's just a regular ass New Yorker.
And then you can tell like in the interviews in the morning with the news, he'd be like hungover from the next day.
Hell yeah.
There was an interview on 9/11 last year that he did with like News 4 New York.
Mm-hmm.
And they were in a studio just chilling. And the interviewer was like, yo, how do you feel? He didn't say that. He wasn't like, yo, how do you feel? Although that's probably what Eric Adams heard.
That's what he heard.
The interviewer was like, yo, son, how you feel about like this being 9/11 and that happening in New York and this being such a like big thing for the city?
Yeah.
And Eric Adams is like, yo.
That's how he responded though. That's exactly how he responded.
My boy. You know, that's just New York.
Yo,
he's like, one day you could just be celebrating a newly open black-owned business, and the next day you could see a plane running into a building.
Didn't he describe New York just by repeating? That's just New York, baby?
That's that interview.
Yo, that's that interview. Okay.
That interview.
Fucking stupid.
You look at the totality of the year. If you had to describe it, and it's tough to do, in one word, what would that word be, and tell me why?
New York. This is a place where every day you wake up, you could experience everything from a plane crashing into our trade center to a person who's celebrating a new business that's open.
I remember hating on de Blasio, and I didn't understand why. We just hated him because he was lame. I don't hate Eric Adams that much. I know he's terrible for policies, but he's mad fucking cool, low key.
Nah, he is mad cool.
Low key.
Nah, he's mad cool. He sold me an eighth.
You know how I knew Eric Adams shouldn't have been mayor? We went to a club one time, bro. We met the owner of the club, and he was like, yo, me and Eric Adams like this. He did his 50th birthday party in the Bronx. 2 weeks later, that club gets shut down. They were literally like, Eric Adams has to hit me up to make sure shit goes right. I was like, what the fuck?
You're the real mayor.
Apparently, Eric Adams is getting indicted. Not even apparently, he's getting indicted for receiving funds, illegal campaign funds from Turkish businessmen for political favors, which is fucked up. You know why? Because now him burning 4 tons of marijuana in the New York streets makes a little bit more sense.
I thought that he was just celebrating 420.
No.
The only policy I think Eric Adams will go down is like memorable for is legalizing weed in New York City.
Recreational marijuana.
He never let that shit go. I remember one time there was a press conference for like, I think a cop died. Like, this is a serious moment. You know what I mean? And he's there just like, yeah, you know, R.I.P. Sergeant Tails. He reverts the conversation back to himself. He's like, yeah, but you know, one of the things I'm very well known for is legalizing marijuana. And I smell that people are using that policy.
The number one thing I smell right now is pot. It's like everybody is smoking a joint now.
And you could tell he was a pothead because he's like itching in that very moment.
He was like, oh, is that perp?
Eric Adams, horrible for policies. I think we can establish that.
Yeah.
100%. But he has this video. I don't know if this was while he was mayor or before he was mayor, where it's like, you know those anti-drug campaigns?
Yeah.
What I would like to show here is to empower parents on how to search a room inside their home. I always recommend to start out in a periodic fashion so you'll be used to going through the room to look at the various items in the room. You can look in the jewelry box. A jewelry box of this nature, maybe a simple jewelry box, but if you look through it closely, you don't know what your child may be hiding. For instance, a gun could be hidden. You should always, when your child bring in his popular knapsack with many different locations, look through it to see what exactly is your child carrying in addition to a book. Something simple as a crack pipe. Look at picture frames and behind them, cameras. Try to determine what's taking place. Behind a picture frame, you can find bullets. Look at all the items inside the room and feel around and see what's the possibility. Something simple as a baby doll. Could be just a baby doll, but also it could be a place where you can secrete or hide drugs. Run your hands over the pillows and see if you feel anything that's unusual. Like a pillow like this with a button is a perfect invitation to hide something. And I felt something bumpy. I would reach in, see what it is. This one could be hidden inside a pillow, a gun.
He's in this like kid's room and he's like, make sure to go through your child's backpack because you never know what they're hiding. And then he goes into like a JanSport and pulls out a crack pipe. Stuff like this can be laying around your child's room. And then he goes behind like the TV and pulls out like a 22. Like, whose house is this, bro? Like,
that is not a kid's house. That's a trap house, sir. That's a trap house.
That's probably Eric Adams' house. He was in an interview with Charlemagne.
Okay.
And he was like, nah, because I lived that life. I remember having to go outside and buy my mama a Nick and making 5 blunts for her.
No, because he's a fucking magician. That's what he is.
He's a fucking liar.
He should have never been married. He's a fucking magician. 5 blunts. You okay? You hit yourself. By the way, I know where he copped those Nicks. In Dykeman. I know exactly where he copped those Nicks. The one thing I'll never forget about him is when he gave the key to the city to... You know who?
He gave it to Diddler, the devil.
And then took it back.
It's all right, because Diddy already made copies
Bro,
of it.
they have a photo together where they have the heart together. Like, they do the heart sign together. I was hoping he was going to do it with me. No, it's all right.
I don't know.
No, it was...
So this is my thing, right? If you're going to steal from the city, why are you taking so much? Like, you mad
Make
hot.
it low key.
Mad hot.
All you need is a mill.
Take 100K, bro. Take 100K here.
100K
another
there.
100K here.
I just opened up a business
here.
for me.
Exactly. Or then you commingle it, right? You start like washing your sins, or what's it, money laundering. So you take 100K, throw it into the small business, but that's your cousin's business.
It's your cousin's
right?
business.
Exactly.
And he owns an Insomnia Cookies. And then boom, right there.
Right there, boom. Now you got cookies and you getting your 100K back.
100%.
Right? And then you got to be smart about that. So you can't just take $10 million at the New York State bank account, boy. That's stupid. That's
he went to JP
dumb.
Morgan. He went, let me take away from the DOE. Put it in my back pocket.
Teachers already don't get paid. They're not gonna miss this.
They get summers off.
The mayor is supposed to be a public service, so they don't get a paycheck.
They don't.
They don't get paychecks.
Yeah.
So obviously they get
They
compensated.
need to check his pay, dog.
That's why it was mad sus. Like, why is Eric Adams driving a Bentley?
I wouldn't be surprised if I see Eric Adams run for president one day. Be like, remember how much fun it was?
Yo, y'all remember me? And he gonna have a face tat.
Teardrop.
Teardrop.
He shivved the man in the joint, dog.
Prison was all times.
Imagine he goes to Rikers and just be like, I did a good job.
Dating is tough.
Yes, very.
It's dangerous. Scary. You never know who you're gonna run into in this world. It's a big world and it's a crazy one. You got the Diddy's of the world. You got the Eric Adams of the world who will promise you something and give you something else. You know, you just never know somebody's actual intentions. And the problem is you have to get to know them in order to know their actual intentions, right? That leads to a lot of bad things happening to people, unsuspecting victims. Jojo Boy 213 on Reddit writes, I took a girl to a free comedy show on a Tuesday night, and here are some of the comedian lines directed towards me. She is way too far out of your league, unquote. Quote, you took her to a free comedy show. Are you broke?
Yes.
Oh, you study finance? Boring. Shouldn't have talked to you.
Okay.
And last but not least, this relationship isn't going to last.
Jesus Christ. On a first date?
There wasn't a second date.
No, there can't be. No, because why are you taking them to an open mic? Like, why are you taking her to an open mic?
Right? I know it was an open mic. I've seen this happen.
Yes, so have I.
I've seen.
I've been a part of it.
We were in the same room where this happened.
Oh.
But there was a time where we were in the Black Cat, this comedy club in the Lower East Side of Manhattan, and there was a couple that came in, very beautiful woman, okay looking man. The problem isn't their appearance. Actually,
It was.
it could have been.
It was.
Because not only, all right, you took her on the first date to a comedy club. And I don't blame him because on the website, it says it's a coffee shop. It is a coffee shop.
It is.
Surprise, we're also doing comedy in here though. And it's 9 p.m. Why the fuck you want coffee? So they walk in, or sorry, she walked in because he rolled in. He was on a wheelchair.
She pushed them.
And it was a first date and they met on Hinge.
They met on Hinge.
Bro.
I was like, I realized he was in a wheelchair when we sat down. And I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
She didn't know that when they first met.
Bro, everybody was sitting down and I knew he was in a wheelchair because he was the only one whose chair had wheels.
They went in on him.
They
dog.
were going at them the whole night because the problem is they were the only civilians. That was the issue. It wasn't that he was in a wheelchair. It wasn't that they were on the first date. That definitely helped. But the problem is that they were the only civilians there, so they got all the attention. And then all of the added bonuses definitely didn't make it
And then
any
that's
better.
the thing with being a civilian and stuff, and being like at a comedy show or an open mic. We feed off that. We want that audience interaction because this is an open mic.
That was a fun ass mic.
That was a good mic. That was a good mic. I didn't feel safe after. There was a lot of men there. Hey.
You typically say one gay thing a day. That was it right there.
All right, guys. Thank you for watching, sticking around. I appreciate you. We love you.
Yo, tell him again.
We appreciate you. We love you.
Remind him though.
You already know. We love you. We appreciate you.
Yo, don't forget, hit those buttons.
And hit those buttons, the like and subscribe button. Of course. Like and subscribe. You already know. Peace, baby.